I should brush my teeth.
Okay. Well,
Just dive in.
is my Wi-Fi working? Hello, Michael Melkos.
I thought you weren't going to be here, Michael.
Oh, Michael said he wasn't going to be there?
He was going to go visit someone.
Oh.
Put his business out there.
Oh, okay. No, we don't do that. We're like vice traps, vice grips, bear traps, something like that. Hello, Nicole Hobble Cakes, my hot girl. Hello, Bruno, Rachel Boren, Christy Bazemore. Hello, Amber Mitchell, Taylor, my man. Hello, Julie's Overalls.
My back's itching. You scratched right.
Hello, Cynthia
down,
A.
To the right, a little bit. To the right.
Sam I am.
Now up.
My man. Hello, Evangelina.
Down. To the right.
Hello, Bruno Argamont.
Up. A little bit to the right. Now down.
Sam, I was just texting Cole right before the podcast, and we were making fun of the Cowboys like we always do. And okay, yeah, I will hear it a second, Catherine. That's awesome. And we're making fun of the Cowboys. The Cowboys have signed one player, and Cole said, "Yeah, and it's a redhead from New Zealand." And I was
What's
like,
wrong with that?
"That's what I said." I said, "Well, there's nothing wrong with redheads, and certainly nothing wrong with Kiwis from New Zealand." So
very insensitive.
yes. Hello, MBH 1964. Hello, Bruno. Hello, Stronger and Wiser. Hello, Tiffany. Hello, ACNC12, Adrian. Catherine, you can do podcast at kellyandallen.com, or you can do hello, I'm Allen at iCloud.com.
I've got to get my back scratcher. I'll be right back. My back is itching like crazy. I'll be right back. Don't let me mess anything
It's
up.
really that you're gonna get up and
seriously
because your back's
so
itching.
bad. I can't even stop wiggling.
Wow. I don't know, Sam. It's some dude, I don't even know who it is. No idea. I don't care anymore. Amber, it was awesome. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that a little bit, whip y'all with those stories, probably drop a few dimes. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Krista. Hello, MBH 1964. Oh, Taylor, I'm sorry. There's another Taylor that's a dude. My man. I can never remember whose last name goes with whose. Are we good?
I was dying, y'all. I was so dying. I have this one little spot on my back.
We'll wait for Kelly to figure out this personal problem, and then we'll get started. Hello, Brittany.
One spot. Whew, that's better.
Hello, Cindy. Yeah, see who the Cowboys signed in free agency, Sam. It won't take you long. They signed one person. Hello, Dee Dee. Hello, Terry Meeb.
Oh, gosh, I keep knocking everything.
Hello, Friedrich Sedlak. My man. Digging the name. We'll put you on the all-name team up there with Evangelina Guerrara. We got Friedrich Sedlak. My man. I like that. Yes. That is awesome. Yes, Julie. It is. It is. Another in a long line. How's your light, babe? You happy with that? Hello, Darla.
I'm sure it's fine when you don't block it. Not a lot of room here.
You think Steve Harvey and Dr. Philip, I'm sorry, do you think they bemoan like each other while they're doing their podcast about the amount of light in the room?
I think they rib each other a lot. They pick at each other a lot.
Oh,
And
they
they
do?
have professional lighting people that handle that.
Okay, a couple of things. By you emphasizing that they have professionals, you're diminishing the work and the effort that I've put into this.
You haven't
set.
put in effort, but you also are not a professional. Let's just be honest about lighting. Otherwise, you wouldn't constantly be in my light. Y'all get yourself a back scratcher.
Dee Dee, good call.
Retractable. Oh, so nice.
Well, we can talk about this on the podcast.
We don't need to talk about back scratching. That's boring. Y'all ready? Testing 1, 2. Testing. Me and you. We're testing it all right.
Phil Anus, please pick up the red
Oh.
courtesy phone. Phil Anus, please pick up the red
Why would you do that?
courtesy phone.
That's not even a name.
Phil Anus.
Not even a name.
I think it's Italian. Hold on. I sure hope that microphone's working this time.
It wasn't?
It was clipped last time. That's why I didn't post the full episode. It'll be better this time. Hold on.
Welcome to A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast, the very professionally produced A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast, well lit, well mic'd,
No.
well rehearsed, well scripted. I'm Kellie Rasberry Evans,
not what I
and
was
this is
told.
my husband and podcast co-host Alan
A
Evans.
train in the house.
We are back for another, man, I don't know how we're going to get it all crammed into this episode, but we're going to manage somehow. We had so much happen since the last podcast we cannot wait to get to.
We are going to get behind it and just pack it the best we can. Full. Just, yeah,
Cram it in there. Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Yes, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I just want to just get started.
Oh, because this is going to be a good one, guys. And let me start out by saying, you are going to have, Kellie, you won't, I will not, but you, good, strong, dear, sweet, clean listener, are going to have a backache after picking up all the dimes that Kellie's going to drop in this podcast.
Me?
Yes.
You're not going to drop dimes? You're just
well,
going to sit back and let me do all the dime dropping?
Let's let the listener decide who is going to drop more dimes on this podcast. I have a few to drop. I'm going to drop a few dimes because you know what? I hung with Steve and Philip a little bit this.
You can't be calling him Philip.
That's what his wife
That's
called
what
him?
his wife calls him.
I know. On the group text, my family group text, I was, of course, dropping dimes and sending pictures. And I said, so should I call him Dr. Phil or Philip? And there was that.
Is that a cricket sound effect? Because I cannot hear them.
And then my dad finally piped in. He's like, I would stick with Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's seeing the humor in the Philip.
No, nobody would see the humor in
So
that.
yeah, we will get to that. We'll get to my jury duty, my civic duty of showing up for jury duty. And I really think that about covers this whole podcast.
No, I've got a
There's
little
more?
bonus content.
There's more.
Bonus content. It's not an ad, but I'm going to talk about a wacky new place that I took the boys, fast food place. And you can only find these in select places in the United States. And it was fun. It was a little adventure. So maybe we'll finish with that. It was a fun enough adventure to where I feel like I need to share it because the boys thought it was pretty cool. And it had to do with EK in a way too. We borrowed a car. So we'll get into that.
You were doing something nice for her, and I appreciate
We'll
that.
get into that.
I feel like there was stuff that happened before, because this all happened within the last 2 days. And I feel like there was probably stuff that happened before that, but it's all just, Easter. Easter happened. I was like, what happened before that? We had Easter as well.
It's kind of a big one to forget.
That is a big one, but we had so much happen since Easter. That's why it's just like my head's still spinning. But anyway, hopefully everybody did have a great Easter. I'll be honest, Alan and I, we have not been having our butts parked in the pew on a regular basis. So there was a temptation, on Sunday morning. It's like, well, I feel like we should go to church, not just on Easter and Christmas, but we need to be going more often. But we went to one of the mega churches nearby our house.
Mhm.
And we went to Prestonwood Baptist Church, if anybody's familiar.
Kellie and
And
Allen. Hey, Kellie.
That's Pastor Sam.
I love you guys.
Oh, you're losing it.
Well,
It's been a long time since you heard him speak.
yeah, it's been long. I like my wine.
Yeah. Well, that's not Pastor Sam
Oh.
preaching at Prestonwood. It's Jack Gray.
Oh, yes. Jack Graham, Pastor Sam. I was a little confused, but yes.
Yeah,
yes.
but the thing about Prestonwood Baptist Church, if you've never been, it's a mega church, like I said, and the choir, the music is just like I cry every
The
time.
music was so good.
The music washes over you, and ever since then, Alan, he has Sirius also. When how when you get a new car, you get like Sirius radio for like 3 months or whatever, hoping they hook you. They can't hook Kellie Rasberry. I'm not paying extra. But Alan got it in his vehicles, and he found out he could put it in mine.
Yeah.
So I have been listening to a lot of worship music.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're
on
using
Sirius.
it. That's
It's
awesome.
really,
I'm
it's
glad
been
you're using
really
it.
good for my spirit.
Good, babe.
I don't need to be listening to stuff about twerking and booty smacking all the time. It's just been really good for my
You're not in with the
spirit.
WAP?
It's been very good for my spirit.
You're out on the WAP?
Oh, I would not. No, I don't do whopping.
What is whopping?
At all. It's not good. But so there's that. And that was Easter. And then we went over to Alan's sister's house and we had a lovely spread. I made my mama's macaroni and cheese, and it was a big bust because
It was not a
changed.
bust. It was good.
Not good.
No, Kelly's
I changed the
underselling.
recipe.
It was good.
My fault.
It just needed a little more salt.
It needed a lot more salt and a lot more flavor. It was like eating flavorless mush. It was not good. But the cherry cobbler was very good. You didn't have any. You stuck with pecan pie.
I ate about half a pecan pie. My sister had
all by yourself.
Why you gotta?
I'm just saying.
Why you gotta throw me?
Well,
on
you
Front
said
Street?
I ate about a half a pecan pie, which I was reiterating. Yes, all by yourself.
My sister ordered a ham from Cracker Barrel.
And all the fixins.
All the juicy, good,
very good,
very good. I was pleasantly surprised. She said, "Well, I'm ordering ham from Cracker Barrel." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
But she also got dressing and beans and rolls and everything.
It was good.
And when you get it from Cracker Barrel, it's in this big box, #not an ad, and then they give you instructions on how to reheat everything. So she did a great job, because I would probably screw that up just like I did the macaroni and cheese.
So my sister wanted a picture of the ham. Did I show you this?
Well, you took it. We'd already messed it up before,
right.
But you took it unbeknownst to her, and it wasn't posed pretty.
So the ham was like, most of the time you'll see a ham and it's on its side.
Yeah.
So you see the meat, in the little round bone.
The beautiful spiral cut.
Right. So I guess I was confused. JD, my brother-in-law, met his husband. He got the ham out of the packaging and set it like face down. So it looked like a big dome, it was very,
and that's the picture you took.
It's kind of making me uncomfortable. It was strange looking.
It was like a ham dump.
Right. So I just took a picture of it, and I sent it to my sister. So my sister, she's like, yeah, this looks like one of your old selfies I remember. And I'm like, which one? She's like, the one where you look like Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, yeah.
So she drew on this picture, little eyes and glasses.
Was she right?
And put it next to me. We'll post this for our good, strong, sweet, dear, clean listeners.
You love sending a Jabba the Hutt selfie.
Yes, our wacky marketing department will get on that. But yes, the ham with the glasses on it looked just like me.
There you go.
Brown.
There you go.
Big neck. Overdone.
Glasses. Facial hair. Anyway, so there's that. I did the Easter egg hunt like I do for the kids, where a few of the eggs have cash. It was very interesting to watch Dylan and our youngest niece, Beatrice, bartering and trading and offering cash for Snickers and trading, what was it? I don't remember. Starburst and all this stuff. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, Dylan and Beatrice, my younger niece, they had deals going.
Yeah, wheeling and dealing.
They were wheeling and dealing.
It was a good time.
But then Dill, he tries to wheel and deal with me. He's like, Daddy, I got a deal. And I'm like, okay, give it to me, bud. What you got? He goes, I'll give you $8, but you give me 10.
Oh, what a deal.
And
He's a good negotiator.
Yeah. And I was like, well, bud, I wouldn't,
make that deal.
Give more than I'm taking in on a deal like this.
Mm-hmm.
But why don't I just give you $2? He's like, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, whatever.
Well, Dylan always walks away a winner, right? So that was Easter Sunday. And then I got to sleep in just a tad bit on Monday morning because I had to report for jury duty. Now, to be at the Kay Craddock Morning Show, my day starts at 6 a.m. But for jury duty, I had to report at 8:30 a.m. So I got to sleep in just a little bit.
Collin County Courthouse.
Collin County Courthouse.
I spent a lot of time there.
I'm sure you did. I did too, actually. Going through my legal name change, I was up there a lot. I kept messing up the paperwork. Anyway, so I report for jury duty. And I know you're going to court and you want to look, in my opinion, presentable.
You're going to be in a courtroom.
We get the little card saying, no tank tops, no, they want you to be respectful, no cut off shorts and things like that. So I chose a shirt dress sans a belt because I ate a lot on Easter Sunday and I felt more comfortable. Some sensible flats with a little closed toe, like a ballet flat, if you will, almost.
Wait a minute. Did your stylist do this, or did you?
No, I did this on my own.
People keep asking now everything you wear. They want to know if the stylist picked it up.
No, that was all Kelly Rasberry Evans going to the courthouse. But I was complimented. The lady that was seated next to me in my jury pool said she loved my outfit. I said, thank you very much. And as I was leaving, a random stranger told me I was gorgeous. And I said, you just made my day. I'm going to start doing more random compliments like that.
Who is this random stranger?
Just some woman walking out. She just said, you are gorgeous.
It's a woman, huh?
Oh, like, what does it matter? That was a little humble brag that somebody thought I was gorgeous, right?
Hey, hey, let's start keeping track, guys. Good, strong, sweet, dear, clean listener. Get your little notepads out. I'm going to give you a second. Get your writing instrument out. I'll give you a second. Make a tick mark. That is dime number 1.
Why is that a dime? Why is that a dime?
Humble brag. It's a dime. Well,
no, dropping a
dime. I was
at
the courthouse and said, "Ooh, look how gorgeous you are."
Dropping a dime is not the same as humble brag.
Humble brag.
That's 2 different things, though.
They're nuanced differences.
They're very different. Anyway,
define the differences.
I was just trying to say I was dressed decent.
Please define the
differences. And I put on some makeup and I washed my hair and did all those things. You can't believe how people show up to the courthouse.
What? Give us some. What do they look like?
There are people in flip-flops.
Yeah.
With corns. It's right. It's like one thing if you got pretty feet. But number 2, why are you wearing flip-flops to the courthouse? I just thought that was disrespectful.
Did they have the Dr. Scholl's corn pad on it?
No, just corn shining. And then there were people that literally looked like maybe they were right in the middle of cleaning out their garage and looked at their watch and like, oh, got to get to the courthouse, and just came up there. I'm like, what is happening? And then, I will say the majority of people were dressed fine, right? Fine. But anyway, I digress. So you have to sit through, if you haven't been for jury duty, I'm assuming it's like this. I remember in Dallas when I was in Dallas County, we had to watch a little video.
I'm sorry, man. When I was up at this one for jury duty, they showed a video.
Yeah. I don't know how often. Yeah, they did.
Oh, okay.
It was they really try to entertain you because they know nobody wants to be there and they know it. And there's a video where they intersperse all these, court scenes from Jim Carrey and The Liar and, any courtroom drama, LA Law, whatever. And the judges, there are more female judges in Collin County than there are male judges, which is really unusual, especially since one of the judges remind us women didn't even have the right to serve on the jury as recent as 1950 something. I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so these 2 female judges in their robes and everything go, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, I remember that bit.
I'm like,
I remember that bit.
What is happening?
They did a bit.
Yeah.
They were doing bits.
So anyway, after that, they come up and they go through making sure everybody is present. And there's a lot of us. So then they divide, there's 300, 400 people.
It's a big room.
It's a big room.
I've been there too.
And they say, okay, if you think you've got a valid reason not to be here, they go through a list of, if you are the primary caretaker of someone, who is special needs or a minor child or something, if you come approach me, if you have some, a death in the, whatever, if you think you've got a valid excuse to be dismissed, come approach me. And that takes a while. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, there's a reason I don't want to be in jury duty, but I was like, this isn't something I would be dismissed over. So I'm just sitting there on the front row trying to make a good impression. Like I am a willing participant. Mm-hmm. I'm not giving y'all bad attitude. Mm-hmm. So after people come up there and some of them are told, nope, sit down, or you can present it to the judge and see what the judge says. So after they go through all that, whoever's left, we then get divided into groups. Mm-hmm. And I was in the first group called out. I'm like, great, I'm going to be out of here.
And what is it, babe? It's about 50 people or
this
something?
This one, it was
group?
either 50 or 70 in this first group. Yeah. Another group we saw down the hall from us was only about 20 people. So I guess it just depends on what the situation is. So they have it's either 50 or 70 of us. All I know is I was juror number 38.
Okay.
And so we all march up we go, a couple of things, the escalators were on the outside the courtroom and we just have to wait because the judge and the lawyers are inside the room. And nobody knows each other. A few people kind of like, how you doing? Huh? And nobody's talking. It is dead silent. And I'm like, well, while we're waiting here, I'm going to check emails.
Okay.
I'm going to use my time efficiently.
On the phone.
On my phone.
Were you supposed to be on the phone at this
Nobody
point?
said a word.
Okay.
Nobody said a word about not being able to have your phone. Nobody said a word.
Right.
So I'm out there with my either 49 or 69 other fellow citizens,
right,
my peers, and I'm going through my phone. And I have my volume turned all the way down and my ringer off, right? Because I think I want to look and see what's happening on Instagram this morning.
Okay. Seems reasonable.
Why not?
You're just burning time.
So as I open my Instagram, what I don't realize is just because I have my phone volume off and my phone volume turned all the way down, the Instagram app has its volume still at full blast.
Yeah.
So we're in the hallowed hallway of the Collin County Courthouse.
Yes.
And blasting out of my cell phone.
Change your voice, please.
Full volume.
Please change your voice.
It sounds like I have to remember how the beat goes. Nuclear family is a blanking joke. Is that what it was?
I don't know. You change your voice though, please.
The nuclear family is a blanking joke or scam. And it sounds like it's saying your family is a effing scam. Full blast. And I couldn't scramble fast enough. I'm like, oh my God. I'm trying to turn the volume down and everybody busts out laughing. It kind of really broke the ice. And some man said that was the best thing that happened to me all day today. I was like, thank you. It kind of let me off the hook because I just blasted the F-bomb. Not me personally, but my phone did. So we all get, back situated and then we all go march. And I was horrified out.
So how many times have we been in church or been in a movie
If that would have happened in church
or been somewhere and some Yahoo is over there screwing with their phone and they're playing they're like, they do the same thing you did. And we look over there and judge. And we're like, what? What are you doing?
They could see by my horror. And it's just, thank God it wasn't in the courtroom. That would have been bad. This was in the hallway.
So nobody rolled their eyes at you or no? Okay.
No, they all laughed. Everybody laughed because it was horrifying. Okay. So anyway, then we get marched into the courtroom and I am literally sitting on the third row in the back corner. I'm in the last seat, number 38. And so this is a long story. I'm talking a lot. Should I take a breath? I'm talking a lot.
Well, no, it's okay. It is a long story, but
we haven't gotten to the part where Allen gets to participate.
No, it's okay. No, it's fine. I'm past it. I'm over it. We've done 550 of these things now. I know what the deal is.
But I mean, you weren't there, so it's
right.
You can still comment.
No, I understand. I'm trying.
But it's my story to tell.
It is your story to tell, but here's the thing. Every story, eventually you got to get to like the point.
That was part of the point. That was humiliation number one.
Okay. All right.
Okay, here's part number two.
Okay.
So when you go to, I've gotten to voir dire twice. I don't know if this was necessarily considered voir dire.
Kind of a dime to drop a Latin phrase when
that's what it's called.
You're not sure that everyone knows what that means.
That's the part where they start, when you get down to a certain number of people, the lawyers choose the 12 people that are going to serve on the jury and a couple of alternates. So they have to question you. I don't remember what voir dire stands for, but anyway.
So that's dime number 2 for those of you keeping track. To use Latin on a comedy podcast is a dime dropped. That's
Alan,
number 2.
That's what it's called.
Our live studio audience agrees. Okay, proceed.
That's what it's called.
Proceed.
So as soon as we all sit down, there's the prosecuting attorneys. There's 3 of them, and the client is sitting behind them. And then on the other side is the defense attorneys. There's 2 over there. And immediately they're just all looking at us. They're scanning the room. They're looking at people taking notes. Because look, I don't care what people say. You do get judged by the way you look. You get judged by what you're wearing, how your age, and they're each thinking, and they're looking at body language and facial expressions and how they're dressed. Is like, is this going to be a juror that might, before they even ask us a question,
that takes it seriously.
They take it. They're making notes, and I'm like,
right, sure they are.
I'm sitting in the back corner, kind of like, don't make eye contact with me.
No,
So anyway, then the judge goes through. Does anybody have a reason why you don't think you could be in jury duty? And so hands start. Well, after she explains this, the attorneys on both sides have decided that for this case, they're going to pass out these questionnaires. They passed out questionnaires to all of us. And they said, they're going to review these questions based on your answers. You have to be back here again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. And my head and my body just sank. I'm like, oh crap. Because even if I get dismissed, I won't know until tomorrow, the Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. And there's something really cool that I wanted to do on Tuesday. So then she's like, and this trial, if you get picked for jury duty, you're probably going to be here through Wednesday and possibly even Thursday. I'm dying. So then everybody starts, I've got a business flight I've already booked, and I'm flying out tomorrow because everybody assumes you're going to get dismissed, right? The majority do. All right, you're dismissed. She was just dismissing people left and right. This full-time college student proved it with her record. You're dismissed. This woman who's a primary caregiver for her special needs grandchild, you're dismissed. I cannot stand up and say what my excuse is. It would be too embarrassing. And I was afraid everybody would laugh at me and the judge would tell me to sit down. So I didn't say anything. But I will get to the rest of that story. Yes. Because Alan's
it's a good time for a break, I think.
Alan says it's a good time for a break.
Well,
but I'll tell you, when I did get ready to go to court that morning, I did not want to go full glam.
No.
I wanted to look classy, like I was taking it seriously. Now, today when I went to work, I was tired, but I still wanted a little something to look fresh. But, you know, when I'm going out to my girlfriend's birthday, I'm like, let's put it on, right? So no matter what makeup look I'm going for, what kind of mood I'm trying to present, I am wearing my Thrive Cosmetics.
Thrive Cosmetics.
You have probably first saw them like I did with that viral tubing mascara on all the social media. It's in that turquoise tube. Love it. Well, all of Thrive Cosmetics beauty products are certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free, clean, skin-loving ingredients, high-performance, trademarked formulas, uncompromised standards. They have thousands of 5-star reviews. And it is that viral tubing mascara that I've really fallen in love with, especially lately, because I messed up. When I got Botox, I immediately took a nap. That is the hugest no-no you can do in the Botox world. Actually, it was Dysport I got. Same thing. And my eyelids puffed up so big that my own eyelashes were like buried under a layer of eyelid fat. The only way you could see my eyelashes was thanks to Thrive Cosmetics Viral Tubing Mascara, because this stuff lengthens your eyelashes. It makes them look like the appearance of false eyelashes, even when you're not wearing those, you know, harmful strips and glues and all that stuff. Thrive Cosmetics saved me from my own eyelid mistake, and I really appreciate that. If you haven't tried any products, start with that, and I swear you're going to be hooked, and you'll be trying Thrive Cosmetics. And remember, the name Cause is in the name for a reason, because for every product purchased, Thrive Cosmetics donates goods and products and funds to help community thrives. And I know they support members of the military, which is a cause very close to our hearts.
Thrive Cosmetics is luxury beauty that gives back. And right now you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/sandwich. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/sandwich. Get 20% off your first order.
There you go, Thrive.
Love Thrive Cosmetics. Okay, you're in the Great Hall here. Your phone just went off. You're horrified. You're in the room now doing
with the attorneys and the judge
doing voir dire, and then
now we've been told that we might have to be there,
right? And so you're starting to panic.
I'm like, oh God. So then the questionnaire, y'all. This was going to be a juicy.
We're going to go into the questionnaire
real quickly because it's interesting. So some of the questions, this is going to be like a sexual harassment or inappropriate firing, like you fired without cause or harassment anyway, because the questions on there, like number one question was, are you Republican, Democrat, Independent, or a MAGA supporter? And then there was asking about the Me Too movement. Do you feel that the Me Too movement's gone too far? It was asking about juries awarding financial amounts. Do you think that some of these financial amounts awarded are too excessive? Things like that. And then it asked you for your top 3 favorite celebrities and bottom 3 least favorite celebrities. So it's like really interesting. It was either going to be a sexual harassment and or political firing case. So it'd be really juicy.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we're all filling out the questionnaires. And after I filled out mine, she said, just hand them to the bailiff and we'll see you tomorrow at 9. So after I finished my questionnaire, I went up to the bailiff and I said, excuse me. I said, I really want to see if I can get out of jury duty. I said, but it's a really silly reason. And I'm too embarrassed to say it in front of the entire room. I said, it's so silly. I don't know what to do. He said, sit down right here. He said, I'm going to go talk to the judge.
Did you use that voice?
Yes, I did. I did. Because when I am nervous, awkward, panicked, angry, hungry, any emotion, I get real Southern and real nervous and I start getting teary-eyed. And tears were in my eyes because I was so embarrassed and flustered. So he goes up and he pulls the judge aside and she's, okay. And so he comes back and he says, have a seat. The judge will speak to you when everyone's turned in their questionnaire. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there. I'm not nervous at this point.
Female judge, right?
Female judge.
Did she have dark hair?
She did.
It's the same judge when I went.
Well, they have lots of brunette judges.
It's probably the same one.
But you were there for a divorce court. This wasn't a divorce attorney. This was a lawsuit for.
Oh, this wasn't in the big room. This was in the.
It was in a big room. It was on the 3rd floor.
But you're in the courtroom now. You're not in that big room.
No, I was in the courtroom.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe not the same judge.
Yeah. So anyway,
sorry.
I don't know. Maybe, but.
No, it could have been. I don't know.
So anyway, so after everybody's left, it's just me and the judge said, and the bailiff says, or she says, or I don't remember, says you may approach the bench.
Okay.
Well, as I'm approaching the bench.
So it's just you, the judge, the bailiff, and the defendant.
The head attorney.
And the attorneys.
For the prosecution and for the defense followed me to the stand. And I'm like, oh crap, they're going to hear what I have to say. And so she said, I understand that you have a matter that you want to discuss. I said, I'm really so embarrassed. I'm like, here comes tears in my eyes because I'm so nervous. I said, I know this is really silly and I know this is my duty. And I know I don't want to disrespect the court, but there's something really cool that I want to do tomorrow. And if I get picked for jury, if I come back tomorrow morning at 9, I'm never going to be able to make it.
This is making me uncomfortable and I wasn't even there.
I said, I really want to go see Dr. Phil at his ribbon cutting ceremony for his TV studio tomorrow.
Well, okay, that's good, but that is definitely dime number 3. So we're going to write that down.
I said, and we have to be there at 10:45 in Fort Worth, and this is all the way in McKinney. And I said, there's no way I'll make it in time. And the lead defense attorney, he puts his hand over his mouth and he's looking down and he's shaking his head.
Was he laughing or was he defeated?
He was hiding his mouth. And the judge said, I said, I didn't want to say anything in front of the room because I was afraid everybody would laugh at me. And the judge said, we wouldn't laugh in this courtroom. I was like, ooh. So anyway, she said, so this is tomorrow. I said, yes, ma'am. I said, it's at 10:45. I said, there's no way I can make it. And so she said, I'll leave it up to the attorneys. So I look at them and the defense attorney said, I really don't have a problem with it, ma'am. And to the judge. And the prosecuting lead attorney said she was fine with it too. I said, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I looked back at the judge and she said, well, based on the fact that this is a very special event for you that cannot be rescheduled, I'm going to go ahead and dismiss you. And I was like, thank you so much. I promise I'll serve on the next jury. I promise I'll serve. So anyway, I said, thank you. And I'm leaving. And just as I'm leaving for the door, the judge says, excuse me. Your voice sounds very familiar.
There we go.
That's
number 4.
I'm juror number 38. I just said, I'm not going to waste the judge's time. I'm not going to say, because this happens sometimes, like, I don't know. I said, I'm Kellie Rasberry from the radio. And the lead defense attorney said, you're going to hate. I thought that was you. You're going to hate what I say. I was like, I know what you're going to say, but go ahead and say it. She said, I grew up listening to you in the back seat of my mama's car when she'd drive me to school.
5. That's 50 cents.
And the judge said, well, I didn't listen to you in the back seat of my mama's car. She said, but I listened to you as I was driving myself to law school at UNT.
60 cents. Okay, hold on, Dave. This is happening too fast. Hold on. Golly.
Then the lead defense attorney said, well, I was also invited to Dr. Phil's ribbon cutting ceremony.
So the attorney dropped a dime.
And I said, Judge, could you let him off tomorrow too?
Wait a minute. So you're giving the judge
Yes.
advice.
I said, can you? I didn't give him advice.
Oh my goodness.
I said, Judge, can you let him off tomorrow too?
Oh my goodness.
And he said, no. He said, it's fine.
Oh, no.
Part of the job.
Oh my gosh. You didn't tell me all this.
Oh, so now you're interested in my story.
Oh,
you checked out until now.
Now it's so awkward. And you rang up. You got like a hole in your bank bag. They're just falling out of your bank bag.
So that's what happened.
Babe, hold on.
So I got out of jury duty. I was so happy and relieved.
Just at the courthouse, you told a judge you were invited to Dr. Phil's event.
Ribbon cutting ceremony for his new TV network.
By Dr. Phil. You said the judge recognized you.
Well, she said she recognized me.
Then an attorney said, oh yeah, I listened when I was a kid.
Yes.
Then the judge says, oh yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
Now you're leaving out a very convenient detail that you did tell me.
I don't remember what it was.
And this is kind of
because you were telling me to get to the point, and you make me feel bad that I talk too much. So I left out a bunch story because I could have told you about the lovely lady sitting next to me who was so excited to be called for jury duty. She'd never been. See,
we don't know that.
So I don't know which detail I'm leaving out.
No.
You made me all nervous.
No, the part with the judge and the attorney, that was the payoff. That was the money shot there. But the part where the judge said she saw your name, but didn't recognize it because it was my name.
Well, it was Kellie Rasberry Evans.
Yes.
Because I was juror 38.
Yeah. So she said it was Kellie Evans.
Well, what happens is she has to like match them up. I don't know if she saw my name or not. But she recognized the voice, that whimpering, quivering, teary sounding voice.
Great.
So I was really happy because yes, we were invited to Dr. Phil's ribbon cutting.
We sure were.
For his new TV network, Merritt Street Media. It's just launched.
It's the biggest media company launch, he said, in 30 years?
20 or 30, I don't remember.
He said Fox.
I can't remember numbers.
He said the Fox network. Remember when Fox first came out and then they started carrying football, and that was a huge deal. They took that from CBS, and he said that was the biggest one. And then a couple of years later, then Fox News launched, and he said then that was the biggest at the time. He said this media launch, and they launched yesterday, right?
April 2nd is when they
April
launched.
2nd.
He didn't want to launch on April Fool's Day.
Right off the bat, they're in 80 million homes.
Right. And more to come. And, they also are streaming on the app, which is how we're watching them right now because they're not available with our provider. They're not available as of right now on YouTube TV, but it's coming. So we're streaming, but it's really great. So we get out there to the event. You want to tell, because I've talked so much, you want to talk about getting there and what happened?
Yeah. Well, one kind of fun thing is, and I'm going to whip you with a little EV talk here, because my man Marvis emailed me just today, and he said, have you seen the self-driving on the Tesla? Have you used this? And I'm like, dude, it is amazing. It's like you're chauffeured everywhere. So I meet Kellie at a place that's kind of convenient for her to leave work and me meet up with her. And then we're going to both hop in the Tesla and go to the event in Fort Worth. I'm like, babe, you've got to see this. So I plug in the address and you just hit a button and go. And the car drives itself. And it sounds so like trivial. Big deal.
But it is really cool.
It is pretty cool because it's got to make all these decisions that you make as a human. And you're thinking, am
I trusting it?
Is it going to know how to,
you can override it if it's, you can slam on the brakes if you need to.
You're always in control.
What was interesting to me is when we were pulling out of the parking lot into traffic, that it waited for, we were turning left, we were having to cross over traffic to turn left. And it sensed when the coast was clear, which was really amazing because it was a busy road.
Yeah.
But in a parking lot, it drove about 3 miles an hour.
Yeah,
it was so slow in a parking lot.
Shouldn't you drive slow in a parking lot?
I know, but we were also in an empty parking lot when it did that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it was pretty cool. Tesla Relief, the full self-driving. We used it. Get to the event, park, no big deal. Get into the event. We kind of had a problem finding the door, but we got in, and you go through this maze of hallways, and it's just this huge studio. Big,
you walk around a corner and suddenly, boom.
Big, beautiful studio.
It's the Dr. Phil set.
Yes. And we sat there in the main room. We had really nice seats, and we sat there for
about 30
while.
Minutes. Yeah, we were supposed to be there at 10:45. We got there about 10:30, and they were supposed to start at 11. It ran just a few minutes late. It wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm. So they had your friend Tara from The Wolf, 99.5 The Wolf, and her coworker
Ryan.
They were kind of like the
MCs
doing a little bit. They were doing a teleprompted bit, and I thought it was cute. They didn't. I don't think they. Tara was
nervous.
Yeah,
Tara was just very nervous, and it's a lot of pressure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
For
so
sure.
She was just, and then you questioned, did I do a good job?
That's
what I'm saying.
I thought they did a great job.
Yeah.
But they did the little bit. And then a gal came out. She sung, a preacher came out. We said a prayer.
He said a rousing prayer.
It was a great prayer. And then an
opera singer
came out. She sang God Bless America.
God bless America. And she sang it so good. She sang it twice.
The city's so nice, they named it twice. Yeah. So she did a great job with that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had some dignitaries come out and kind of beat their gums for about 30 seconds. We had some of them politicians from Austin go out and say a few nice words about big deal. Yeah, they were talking about the investment that the state is making in a media company.
They're wanting it to be like, Hollywood 2.0, I guess.
Yeah. No, it was poking fun at the politicians.
No, they're wanting to make more movies and entertainment projects here. So that was good.
So he did that, and the CEO of the entire company came out, said a few words, right?
Yes. And then Mrs. McGraw came out
to
do the big introduction of Philip.
And then she introduced Philip, and Dr. Phil came out and give us a little bit, please.
Well, I don't do Dr. Phil very well.
Oh, you do it very well.
When you put me on the spot, I don't. I really don't. I'm not being self-deprecating.
So Dr. Phil came out, and then they also had Chris Harrison was there with his wife, the former host of The Bachelor.
He's going to have a talk show with his wife on the Merit Media.
Yeah. And Nancy Grace was there.
Yeah, she's got a show.
She came out, and she was sitting in the front row.
You're building up?
I was trying to. Okay. Dr. Phil's son was there.
Jay. Mm-hmm.
And apparently his
wife?
Yeah, his wife was there. But Jay. You're kind of
friends. Yeah, I know Jay.
Yeah, you know Jay?
How well? You just said.
How well do you know Jay?
You just said you know Jay.
Does he text you?
No.
Do you text him?
No.
Okay. I was looking for a dime 8, but we'll get there. And then in this beautiful, beautiful dark blue suit with a dark blue shirt and a dark blue tie, monotone, my man looking right. My man looking fly.
Gosh, y'all.
The great Stephen Harvey.
Who?
Sorry, Stephen Harvey came
out.
I was thinking of Hardy. Stephen Harvey came out.
Wow.
Stephen Harvey. See, I can't even drop a dime on that because I said his name wrong.
You did. Al has developed an overnight crush on Steve Harvey. I've never witnessed anything like it.
Well, look, I've always...
you've never ever talked about your love for Steve Harvey until now. Now that Alan's met him and they connected.
Oh my goodness.
They had a conversation, a little one-on-one, because while I'm schmoozing up Dr. Phil, Alan's standing there next to Steve, like, what do we chop liver? And so they start talking, right?
And so, first of all, let me address what you said.
What?
And that is...
So you have a crush on Steve Harvey?
I don't.
Or Steve Hardy,
I don't deny.
Your pet name.
I don't. Okay, so I messed his name up. You can't even get your husband's name right.
I know, Al.
He came out. He was looking fly, just looking so nice.
So he's gonna have his talk show on Dr.
Yeah, and he'll have his talk show on Dr. Phil's network. But yeah, he was sitting in the front row there. Then they took a bunch of pictures. They had everybody come. They had all the employees go up, took a bunch of pictures, a bunch of photo ops. That was pretty cool. And then
Mike Rowe and Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls and Mike
They
Rowe
were
too.
not there, but they're going to have shows on Dr. Phil's network as well. So we're excited about that. And they're having their own morning show. That whole crew is there.
Yeah. So then they kind of clear the room of employees, and then it's just kind of like the strap hangers, like Kelly and I. They call us the VIP members, are kind of just hanging around. Remember, we were kind of talking and just hanging around. And then Kelly and I decide, well, I mean, there's Phil and Steve right there.
We never got food.
Just,
No.
We walked up on the stage.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We walked up on the stage. We're kind of hanging around like,
because we thought the event was over.
We thought it was over, and we're thinking, well, maybe we can talk to Dr. Phil and Steve before we leave.
Say hi.
Just say hello. At which point, we kind of wore out our welcome a little too long. One of the producers came out and said, I'm trying to work. Let's clear the stage. I'm trying to work.
I got to get busy because they're still doing construction.
I'm trying to work. He kept saying that. I'm trying to work
here. I got to work right here.
I got to work here.
Well, we found out what it was. He was setting up tables for the.
Yeah.
So
and there was also, I don't know if they weren't Secret Service, but there were U.S. Marshals there. Because
there were a lot of security there.
Because of the politicians.
Yeah.
There was this big, burly, and he's the guy that I was like, oh, I don't want to make him mad. Let's just get off the stage. This guy, imagine Jason Statham, like
bigger,
twice his size.
Yeah.
This guy was big and burly and had a headset. And I'm like, I ain't doing nothing with that guy in the room. Okay.
So we were corralled to the back where snacks were provided.
We were corralled to the back.
Heavy hors d'oeuvres.
And this was in the big studio room where they filmed the news shows that looked like they had smaller studios on the second level. It looks like they had a podcast studio. They had all kinds of different.
A little robot running around.
The robot was a security robot.
Yeah, you were talking to the man about that extensively.
I think the guy thought I was some big VIP or something because he comes up to me.
Well, you were.
Well, he's pitching me this robot.
Oh, to use for your business?
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I do a podcast out of my office. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No, but he was saying, yeah, this is, the way of the future. You're not going to have to hire security people anymore. And, this comes out to be about $10 an hour with this, this robot. It's like $5,000 a month, but you think about it, you don't pay benefits. It doesn't take vacation. It had this like
put somebody else out of work.
It has like this periscope head that goes up and it can film everything that's going on. So and he said,
it is interesting.
He said it has AI. It can like see doors that are open. It can see stuff on the ground. It can see doors that are unlocked or whatever. Mm-hmm. So he's pitching me on that. We run over, got some caviar.
Dr. Phil, apparently his favorite snack lately is caviar on ruffles.
I'll take one there. I'll say that's one.
It's caviar on ruffles. Now, I first saw this on Real Housewives of New York, the new version of it. Apparently, this is a thing now. And you have people host caviar parties. So it almost tastes like sour cream and onion dip on top of the chip. And then they put a dollop of caviar on it. Isn't that what it was?
And it melted in your mouth. It was amazing. It was great.
I had one.
Yeah.
And that was fine.
Yeah, Kelly tried one. That was awesome.
I tried one.
So it was.
And then we had tacos.
They had tacos because it was Tuesday. So I threw down a taco. Now, I decided it was a good idea to eat 3 chocolate chunk cookies.
I don't know why you did that.
So I was paying for that this morning.
Yeah.
But whatever. So I did that. I'm back to being Fat Allen.
But then it was time for the tours.
So it's time for the tour. So they're like, group two. And Kelly had 2 on her badge. I had 3 on my badge, but I
said, just come on.
Yeah, I just had. So group 2, they take us back into the studio where we were when they were doing the photo ops and Dr. Phil was up there and everybody was in the one room together. And there they are again. They're sitting at these little tables. And you kind of feel like.
It's just 3 of them this
time. It
time.
was Dr. Phil's wife. It was
Robin.
It was Dr. Phil. And it was Steve.
Yes. Al's lover in his head.
Al Mack?
Allen's
lover. Okay.
Did I call you Allian?
Yeah, you did. It's all right. I called Steve Harvey Steve Hardy.
Why do I keep calling you Al tonight?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
That's fine. Whatever. So then
Kelly, I know you, right?
Yeah, I think so. So Kelly and I are getting the feeling that they're lining us up to go do a meet and greet.
Yeah, we didn't really.
We had no idea.
It took us a minute to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
oh, we're going to have a little one-on-one time.
One-on-one.
They had autograph cards and everything. They were just set up and they were giving everybody a moment. So we were group 2. So group 1 was just finishing up when we walked up.
Yeah. So the first was Robin McGraw. And we went up to her, and she knows Kelly. She recognized Kelly.
Well, they used to live just down the street from our studio before they relocated to California. In Las Colinas. That's how I know her. How is that a dime drop when you just said she knows Kelly, and I was explaining how?
Write that one down.
That doesn't count. Allen said she knows you, and I said yes, and I explained how.
Okay, so
I explained how.
So Phil,
before Dr. Phil got his TV show with Oprah, he used to be a jury coach or something like that, teaching you how to testify. Like these big, huge cases when you've got millions and millions of dollars on the line, you can't just be expected to get up there and testify and not be tripped up. So he coached Oprah on her trial with the beef farmers. So anyway, they lived just up the street from us in Las Colinas. And I don't remember how exactly. It was through Kid, I'd imagine, that we met Dr. Phil. And through that connection, I met Robin.
Yeah. Was
I invited to their home? Yes. That was in Las Colinas. Now, if you want to say that's a dime drop, fine. But you asked me.
That's 11. Okay.
And then they moved to California.
So awesome. That was awesome content. We just can't keep them off the floor tonight. But so we go up to Robin. Robin, of course, recognizes Kelly. And she's like, hey, Kelly, you look so good. And, they're hugging it and everything. And I'm just kind of chopped liver, just kind of like, oh, yeah. And Kelly finally remembers
that's not finally.
Kelly finally remembers that Al is behind it.
That was not finally. I did that every time we went up to somebody. I said, and have you met my husband, Alan? I did that every time.
So I met Robin, and she was very, very sweet. Very, very, very nice.
And she's going to have her own talk show, too.
She
just has not launched that yet.
And while Kelly turned away for just a second to talk to somebody or get out of somebody's way or something, Robin looked over at me and she said, you're a lucky guy. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But then Robin McGraw said, she's really lucky too.
What was she basing that on? That face right there?
I got a dime.
Whatever.
I got to drop one.
Let me go get a glass of Merlot with Robin.
That's only my second dime. I had caviar, and Robin McGraw said that you were lucky. Okay. So
very sweet.
She was very sweet. So
did she say she'd have to have me over to her house? Maybe.
Come.
Hey. They're real people. They're just regular people that happen to be famous. They're very, very nice.
They are.
Very nice. And they're not.
I'm giddy with excitement.
They were Texans, and they went to California, and they're still Texans, and they just came back.
They are.
So
Texans,
they're just very, very nice. So then we moved over to Dr. Phil.
And we moved to Dr. Phil, and he was in.
Y'all know I love Dr. Phil.
And he was in the middle, and Kelly was in front of me, of course, and she said hi to.
Have you met my husband, Alan Evans?
Dr. Phil recognized Kelly, which was really cool. And we said hello and chatted for a moment. It was a little bit about him moving back to Texas. We were asking him, are you going to keep your place in California? Are you going to move here full time? He's like, no, I've moved back to Texas. So Dr. Phil said, we've moved, we've relocated back to Texas. And we talked a little bit about his son who lives in the Austin area, I think Jay does, or he has friends in the Austin area. Because we were talking about Austin a little bit.
His son Jay is really good friends with
Joe Rogan. Right. So we talked about that just a second. And it seemed like we were kind of starting to bog the line down.
Oh, we were bogging the line down bad because somebody behind us, like when I finally left Robin to go to Phil, the man just switched and said, I just wanted to say hello. It's just like, I just want to say hello so I can get the hell out of here because we were bogging down the line. But you know how Alan's usually like rushing me to get through a story. Alan wasn't rushing me to get through this. Alan was like, take our sweet time.
Oh,
we were those people.
Oh, posted up.
We were those people.
A fat man at a hot wings convention.
We were a-holes.
Oh, 100%.
We were, and we
proud of it.
I wouldn't say proud of it, but we admit it.
I was proud of it. Now, here is a kind of awkward, a little bit of an awkward, just for a flash of a second, I felt awkward, but then I feel like I saved the day. So you were talking to Phil. Sorry. You were talking to Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
And I was behind you, and I think you were yet to introduce me, which is fine. I'm just saying, I
introduced you.
I was still
within
waiting
10 seconds.
I was still waiting to be introduced. So there was nobody going around me to see Steve. So he's sitting right there, like
just waiting.
And he was just sitting there by himself, like.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, God, I can't just let Steve Harvey sit there by himself, just sitting there. So while you were talking to Phil, I engage.
This was your moment.
This was my big moment. I'm like, Steve, what's up, man? I'm Allen. Nice to meet you. And he could not be any nicer. He was so nice, warm, engaging. And I was just saying whatever came to mind. I said,
don't you feel like an idiot?
It's I was like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, hey, I'm so glad to be here. You know, my wife, she had jury duty yesterday, but she got out of it.
Right. I told Dr. Phil that. He thought that was funny.
Well, I told Steve that. So that's how I launched into it. I'm like, yeah, we're lucky we're here because my wife, she actually skipped out of jury duty. Or not skipped. I said she got out of jury duty yesterday. He's like, really? And I said, yeah. She said that there was this really big once in a lifetime event that she was invited to. And she asked the judge and the attorneys, and they said, cool, you can go. He goes, wow, that is awesome. He goes, where was that? And I said, Collin County. And he goes, Collin County. He goes, I know Collin County. And he said,
He used to live here.
He said, the McKinney Courthouse? And I said, yeah. He goes, I spent a lot of time up at that McKinney Courthouse.
Yeah, he got divorced here.
Yeah. And I said, really?
Yeah.
I said, so did I.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we kind of bonded at that moment. I thought right then, I thought we were kind of tight.
Yeah.
Just for a second.
And then what happened?
And then Tara was behind me and she kind of jumped in front of me because she thought I was.
Are you calling out Tara for cock blocking?
Yes. Yes. Because then I felt like, well, I need to divert my attention from Steve to Phil.
So what did Tara say? She just literally came in and stuck her hand and said, hi, Steve Harvey?
And it was fine. But she and, what's her coworker's name?
Ryan.
She and Ryan jumped around me to talk to Steve. They just skipped Dr. Phil.
Because I was talking to Dr.
Because you were talking to Dr.
And
Phil.
they know not to interfere with that.
Right. So I was talking.
They ain't scared of you.
So I guess not. So I was talking to Steve, and I didn't think I was finished talking to Steve. I could have talked to Steve for freaking 30 minutes. We talked probably 15 minutes though. And then she jumped around. But another thing we talked about when Kelly came over, after we said goodbye to Dr. Phil and thank you and congratulations and everything.
Who said he's going to text me?
He's
going to text me.
Okay, golly. I'm having a hard time keeping up.
He said something about me calling. I said, Dr. Phil, I don't think I have your number. He's like, I have yours. I'll text you.
Okay, that's number 12. And he also said, Dr. Phil also said in that same conversation, Kelly said, I think I have your number. You have Dr. Phil's number.
No, I don't.
Oh, he said, I'll text you.
Right.
And Kelly said, oh, but I'll text you back, but I won't abuse your phone number.
I said, I won't abuse it.
And he looked like, oh, come on. Kelly, come on. We're tight. You don't need to worry about that.
That's right.
That's the biggest dime, and that's number 13.
I didn't drop that. You dropped it.
You were up to $1.30.
You dropped that. I did not drop that.
So then Kelly and I both.
You cannot drop stuff and give it to me.
Sure I can. So Kelly and I then both move over to Steve. Tara and Ryan had moved on. And Kelly and Steve and I are now, the three of us are talking. Gosh, I'm just off the top of my head real quick. I remember us talking about, we were asking him what all he's working on. He said, well, I do Family Feud in Atlanta. He said, then I do Celebrity Family Feud in LA. And then he said, I do my radio show here
in Dallas.
He said, I'm going to start doing my TV show here. And Kelly said, well, are you going to buy a house here? And he goes, no, I don't think I'm going to buy a house here. He said, I live in Abu Dhabi.
He lives the majority of the year in Abu Dhabi.
He says, I spend most of my time overseas. And we're like, Abu Dhabi, huh?
He's like, you know why? He said, it's beautiful over there. He said, there's no crime. He said, there is zero crime in Abu Dhabi. And he said, the last time there was a crime committed there was, he said, 30 years ago, when somebody stole a car from a member of the royal family. Like if you go and steal a car, you stole from the royal family, and you know what the consequences are probably for something like that. So he said, there's no crime over there.
Yeah.
And so he loves
He
it.
seemed to really like that. That's the part he kept saying. He's like, there's no crime there. There's no crime.
And look what's happening here, because there's no consequences here anymore.
Well,
so anyway, it was really nice. But I know Steve, he's from the Dallas area. He lived here for a long time. And so he and Kid Craddock were both radio guys. And so immediately, and I've met Steve before, but it's been years and years and years. So I knew he wouldn't remember me. So I went with, hi, I'm Kellie Rasberry. I worked with Kid Craddock, and but I said, we still do the show in his honor. And he was like, really? He was just really surprised that, his kid's been dead 11 years this year. He was like, really? He was just really surprised by that. He could not believe it, because that's unheard of. No, there's no other show where the host dies and you keep the host's name. But he was also like, wow, that's really beautiful, because he said, I put my name, he said, that's why I put my name on everything I do, because when I'm gone, I said, yeah, it'd be really expensive for people to change it, but it was just really nice. He was really sweet. And I think, and then when we were done with our little tour talking to Steve, we finally let somebody else have a chance.
Well, we hogged him.
And Alan and I were like,
15 minutes.
We're good. We've done what we need to do.
Yeah.
And, so we were like, well, it was supposed to end at 1, and it was 1:15 at this point. I said, well, do you want to just, let's just kind of peace out? And it's like, that's fine. So we were kind of so turned around that some very nice gentleman led us to where the exit was. And as we're walking out into the front lobby, just sitting there at a table by herself is Nancy Grace.
I was like,
next to the exit. I was like, what are you doing here?
I did a double take. I'm like, Nancy.
Yeah, we're like, why are you here? And because we just assumed everybody left. Well, then somebody with a clipboard jumped up. So what happened was there were stations that you were supposed to go to meet all the personalities. And Alan and I just went to station number 1. We assumed that was it. And we were leaving, but Nancy was like, stop number 7. So we missed meeting all the celebrities except for Nancy Grace. And she's like, yeah, I'm wondering why, like, nobody's coming out here. And it's like, well, that's partially our fault, because we're the jerks that are holding up the line back there. But we were in group 2. Group 1 hadn't even been by at that point. So anyway, we had a very lovely little visit with Nancy Grace, and we assured her other people were on the way.
Her husband took a photo of us
from about 16 feet in the air.
Her husband was about 6'5", and then he put his hands above his head.
Because we want that good angle. But Nancy's sitting down, and she's short anyway. She's very tiny. Right. And then Alan and I, big people.
Oh.
And so we're towering over this short woman sitting in a little chair. We look gargantuan, but we posted the picture anyway because she's Nancy Grace. So then we left. We got our gift bags filled with all the Merritt Street and Dr. Phil merch, drinking out of my Dr. Phil coffee mug. I love it.
I love Steve.
Got his book.
I love Dr. Phil. I love Steve Harvey.
You've drunk the Kool-Aid.
I have always watched Family Feud. I've always watched that show. You can't say I'm like a bandwagon Steve Harvey.
No, I'm saying you've drunk the whole Dr. Phil, Rob, and Steve Harvey. You're in.
100%. Yeah. 100%. Because they were nice people. That's why. I don't know. Just, we've been around some, people in the public eye.
Wait, let me write that down. Is Alan dropping another dime?
I'm just saying, like, when you meet somebody that you see in the media and on TV a lot, you form opinions about somebody that you don't really know, and you don't really know somebody after 10 or 15 minutes of speaking with them. But you do feel when somebody is engaged, when somebody feels like they're interested, when someone makes you feel like, this isn't a job. I'm here because this is a big deal, and I'm happy that you're here. That's the feeling I got. I don't know.
Everyone. Nancy Grace acted like we just saw each other yesterday at church. Didn't she act like that?
It was just like we knew her all.
She just started talking, and she's like, it was just the most strange thing, but
It
she
was-
was so friendly.
Oh, it
and
was
nice. It was really great. It was a fun day.
It was great.
So, Merritt Street Media, if y'all want to look that up, download the app. We're just, we're not going to, we're not going to sit here and pimp Dr. Phil any more than we already have. But it was really great. We're excited.
No, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We were both, when we left, we were both saying how fun it was and how excited we were for all those people, because this is quite a endeavor. And I think Phil said, he goes, doing a radio show like I've done, or a show like I've done before, where you're taping, 60 minutes one day a week. He said, that's one thing. But
he did it every day.
Yeah. But we're launching a company where we got to have 24/7 programming.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that's a really hard thing to do for a brand new company.
And he's not just doing his talk show. He's doing like in-depth investigations and things like that's going on. And, it's just going to be really interesting. It's going to be different. It's going to be a different take on the news. He said it's not politically driven. None of it's politically driven. It's just, it's not just we're giving you the news. We're also telling you why what's happening, explaining what's happening and kind of breaking it down, and just a common sense approach to things. I'm excited about it.
All right. This was a fun podcast, guys. And
was it? It was longer than we wanted it to be.
I'll tell you what, listener, you'll probably have to go back, because I made some notes about all the dimes that were dropped. I know I missed some, but quickly review very quickly. Kellie's dimes that she dropped. Our live studio audience says she dropped $1.40 worth of dimes, 14 dimes. That's the most that's ever been dropped in a podcast.
Well, I think a lot of those can be attributed to you.
Some of them I wrote down were, ooh, she's hot. Kellie threw down.
She said it was gorgeous.
Kellie threw down Latin in conversation.
That's the name of it.
She told a judge that she was invited to Dr. Phil.
Yeah, because I had to get a jury duty.
The judge recognizes Kellie.
She did.
The attorney listens to Kellie.
Yep.
The judge also listens to Kellie.
Well, she did in college.
Kellie worked somewhere where she used to, the office was right next to where Dr. Phil and his wife lived.
I still work in that office.
She said, Nancy Grace, why are you here?
What is that? What is that?
It's a dime.
It's not a damn dime. Not a damn dime.
And there's 12 and 13, but I don't know what those were, so I'll have to go back and listen myself.
Those weren't dimes.
Allen had exactly 2 dimes.
That's a lie.
I ate caviar off a Lay's chip. And
you bonded with Steve Harvey.
That's not a dime.
And and then there was one more I forgot.
See? So who won that?
Well, obviously I did, based on your, what is the word? Parameters. Is that the word I was looking for?
I'll give you a parameter.
Yeah. Go back to what Robin said, how lucky I am.
She said you're lucky too.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think that's enough.
When you weren't looking.
Yeah, because I missed it all together. So you could be lying. Anyway.
All right, babe. Well, this was fun. You got anything else?
No.
As
you say, every week I've talked enough.
I've never said that.
Hey, I gave you the full show at the second half. And you even had stuff we didn't even get to.
I know. The thing I took the boys to. We can do that next time. We knew it's fine. We'll save that.
Save it.
We'll save that for next time, because that was kind of fun. But anyway, all right, babe. Well, you got nothing else?
I'm about to yawn.
All right, well.
Ooh, that means I'm done, y'all. I'm tired. It's been a long few days. My adrenaline just crashed.
Oh, we didn't talk about Easter.
Yeah, we did. The beginning of the podcast.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Alan.
We went to church.
The very beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, we did a little bit. Okay. I was passed a note by one of our producers, and I guess it was bad information.
It said what?
We didn't talk about Easter.
Well, they must have tuned in late.
All right.
That was the first thing we did.
Well, I love you desperately.
Love you.
I love our listeners desperately.
Love
I
y'all.
love Merritt Media desperately. Dr. Phil McGraw.
I love the producer that even showed up late. That's fine.
Steve Harvey, Robin McGraw, Chris Harrison, Bear Grylls, all of them. It's going to be Mike Rowe. It's going to be pretty fun. It'll be a fun network to watch. But I am sure we will podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye.
Okay. Okay.
A lot of dimes. A lot of dimes. Yes. Oh, Friedrich, I'm telling you, man.
You've got to remember to do the HTTPS thing, right? When you do the YouTube notes, right?
Well, that's a favor,
Well, it's just linking if you're putting it in the show notes anyway, right?
I guess.
And it
It's free.
makes them want to keep coming back.
It's free advertising.
Makes them want to keep coming back.
If something's free, that means it has no value.
Well,
right?
Whatever, Alan.
I don't know. That's what someone told me one time in the marketing industry. They said if it's free, it has little value. A sandwich and a bag of dimes. There you go.
How about dime bags?
No, don't do that. No.
Why?
Because that's a drug reference.
I know it is.
No, I wouldn't do that. Let's not.
What's wrong with a sandwich and some dime bags?
No, let's not do that.
No?
No. Even I advise against that.
What is they saying?
A sandwich and a bag of dimes. A sandwich and some dropping dimes. A sandwich and some dropping dimes. That's something we say on the podcast. Okay. Dime dropping, whatever you
What's
prefer.
that?
It's fine.
I'm trying to do the loving thing.
A sandwich and some dime dropping. That's good. That's good. A sandwich and a big old bag of dimes. I liked it. A sandwich and a big old bag. I know, Friedrich. Dime bag. Yeah, exactly. We're not going to do hardcore drug reference titles. Yeah, exactly. Allen dimes. A sandwich and some caviar. Yeah, another good creative idea. I like that. Oh, I love Friedrich's name. Friedrich Sedlak. Friedrich he has made the all name team. He has made Friedrich, Evangelina. They're exotic. Those are exotic names. I like those exotic names. I'm going to put those on the list. Yes. Friedrich Sedlak. Like that? Friedrich, I just came up with it tonight. I don't know. It's you're on the list of coolest names. That's what it is. Yes, emphasize the Friedrich Sedlak. Like that? I don't think that's probably the way Friedrich says it, though. I don't know. Maybe he does. All right, guys. Thank you, Mel. Love you too. Love you desperately. How's the sound at this time? Sound okay? Sound, light, everything okay? I'm trying to get it dialed in, guys. This is a lot harder than I thought because I am an amateur. Oh, Frederick. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I promised the full episode on YouTube last time, and the sound was horrible, so I couldn't use it. I couldn't even do a highlight because the sound was so bad. So I posted the live, like I said I wasn't going to do. So I think this week, hopefully, the sound is better. I made a change, and if it is better, I'll clean it up and post the full episode on YouTube. So it'll look good. It should sound good. I can hopefully get some funny clips out of it. And yeah, that'll hopefully work for us going forward. But we'll see. I think I got it dialed in, though, hopefully. All right, peeps. Thank you for joining. Love you guys.
Hi, love you.
Very loyal, very, very, very best customers. And we will talk to you soon.